So it has been a long time since I have sat here and made a video. Literally, I think the last video that I made on this channel was September. And now it's February, middle of February as I'm recording this. So I just kind of fell off the face of the earth for quite a few months. And I want to talk about that because I need to take some time away for internal healing, for doing therapy. Like, I just started therapy when I recorded my last video, and I just needed to dive into a lot of deep places that I may or may not talk about in future videos, but different traumas, different stuff that happened in childhood, religious trauma, bad relationships as well. There's a lot of different things. Vicarious and secondary traumatic stress from witnessing so much of what was going on in Russia's invasion of Ukraine through the friends that I have there. And so I just had a lot to figure out and work through, as well as everything that's going on in the United States right now, and all of the chaos that's happening with that. And honestly, I'm kind of still in the thick of the therapy. You can see under my eyeballs, I look tired. I'm sleeping kind of an average of 5-6 hours a day. I'm not getting into that deep sleep near as much as I would like to be. Kind of the way that therapy works, unfortunately, is the first part of it is a lot of excavation, a lot of digging shit up, a lot of that kind of stuff before you actually get into the healing and the relief and stuff. And feel like I'm roughly at the tipping point where I've talked through most of the nasty shit that I've experienced, that I've kind of, as my therapist described it, I'm kind of high functioning for all of the things that happened in my life, but I had to take a step back. I had to scale back what I was doing in my life as I'm getting ready to move out of the Bible Belt, out of the Midwest, back to the Pacific Northwest, where I'm originally from. Very, very excited about that because I think it's going to really enhance my life to have so much better nature, to be out of Trump country, to be close to the ocean. A lot of things are going to improve. I'll be in a culture that's closer to one that I connect with, as well as nature that feels so much better to me. Those very green, misty, light rain, sometimes sunshine kind of days that are just really beautiful, artistic. I've been getting back into my art. I had several months where I didn't do any videography, any photography, other than what was absolutely required for my job, and wasn't creating for myself. But I've gotten much more back into that. I've gotten really into manual focus, old lenses, old Soviet Helios 44M lens. It's a really nice little lens that has a lot of character to it, and I just like doing manual focus photography, manual focus video, rather than all of the autofocus stuff that I typically do for work. It just helps me feel more connected to it. But that's kind of where I've been. In 6 months down the line, there's going to be more stuff like coming out of Oregon, maybe more of me exploring more of my thoughts as I'm going through nature, stuff like that. I don't know what it's going to look like exactly, but I'm hopeful that it's going to be really, really cool. I'm hopeful that my life's going to continue to improve. I'm hoping over the next few months of therapy, I'm going to start to really feel like myself again and, be more okay, for lack of a better term. I know at the end of kind of like my last video didn't really get many views talking about panic attacks and stuff like that. I was very excited because I felt like Shot a Wedding didn't have any panic attacks during it. At that time, that was a big deal. I didn't realize that was kind of like the bottom of the mountain as far as like the journey of healing goes, because there was so much under that panic attack. Panic attacks don't just pop up out of nowhere. They're often kind of the culmination of years of stress, trauma, and really difficult situations that don't have proper outlets, don't have proper ways to process them. And, it finally caught up with me. And I haven't had a full-blown panic attack since August, but I definitely still have anxiety attacks that if I didn't have the tools, even simple things like name it to tame it, oh, my heart rate's going up, I feel nauseous, oh, this is just a panic attack, it's okay, no worries, talking to myself like that, and grounding techniques to get me into, back into the present. I'll use like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Really, I just use the 5 on that, which is basically like name 5 things that you see. So, I might be like, there's the lamp back there, there's the other lamp over there, there's the bookshelf, there's the window, there's my chair. Name those 5 things, get me back into my head. And then you can also go through like touch, smell, taste, hear, all of those different senses if that's not quite getting you back. There's also temperature. I'll use that a lot, where if I'm just really like spiraling in my head, can like dump some cold water on the back of my neck. That, brings the body right back. That kind of stuff has been really helpful to me as I've been learning how to manage the anxiety and the panic attacks while I'm in the middle of healing. I don't know if I'm going to ever fully not have panic attacks, stuff like that. I'm hopeful, but I don't know if that's what's going to happen or not. We'll just have to see, depending on what my body does, what my mind does, kind of how all that works. But I'm hopeful for my future, even though I'm exhausted, and just wanted to make a little check-in video.